Vaganai Saha Jayanti Patakaschacha Sarvesham Kurunartina. Okay, so we was it verse 30 something, right? That we finished? I'll start here. And I would like to go to and we want to get up verse 89 is starting with
yeah, we have enough.
Okay.
Should I get you some more water?
No, I have plenty. It's perfect.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Okay, so I want to conclude at verse 89 because that's where the verses start that we sing at Gaur Purnima. So tomorrow we'll get there. Today we'll lead up to that. So let's see. Okay, so anyhow we'll pick up here. Mahaprabhu here, I think we stopped in this verse. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in the Nabadwip area for 24 years, and he induced every person to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and thus merge in love of Krishna. Chabis Vatsar Chila Koriya Sanyas Bhaktagan Loya Koila Nila Cholevas. For his remaining 24 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after accepting the renounced order of life, stayed at Jagannath Puri with his devotees. Dharmadya Nila Chole Choi Vatsar Nitya Gita Prema Bhakti Dan Nirantar. For 6 of these 24 years in Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, he distributed love of Godhead by always chanting and dancing. Setu Bandar Goda Vyapi Vrindavan Premanam Vachadiya Kodila Brahman. Beginning from Cape Comorin, which I believe is like the very southern tip of India, Kanyakumari, it's also known. So beginning from Cape Comorin and extending through Bengal to Vrindavan, during these 6 years he toured all over India, chanting, dancing and distributing love of Krishna. Hey Madhya Lila Nam Lila Mukya Dam Sheshashta Dashvarsha Antya Lila Nam. The activities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his travels after he accepted sannyas are his principal pastimes. His activities during his remaining 18 years are called the Antya Lila, or the final portion of his pastimes. Dharmadya Choi Vatsar Bhaktagan Sange Prema Bhakti Lao Jailo Nitya Gita Range. For 6 of the 18 years he continuously stayed in Jagannath Puri. He regularly performed kirtan, inducing all the devotees to love Krishna simply by chanting and dancing. For the Dwadash Vatsar Shesh Rohila Nila Chole Prema Vashta Shikaila Ashwadan Chole. For the remaining 12 years he stayed in Jagannath Puri. For the remaining 12 years that he stayed in Jagannath Puri, he taught everyone how to taste the transcendental mellow of love of Krishna by tasting it himself. So Mahaprabhu was here 48 years. First 24 he was living as a grihasta in Nabadwip. Then the second 24 living as a sannyasi. The first 6 years of those he was traveling around India. And then so first 6 years of his sannyas life he was traveling, and then for 6 years after that he was continuing, like preaching within Puri, situated in Puri, and then the last 12 years he withdrew. and entered into this internal state in the mood of Srimati Radharani. I should want to continue.
Carry on, carry on. Please.
We are in the the Adi Leela. Finished the first 12, and now the Leela's beginning with the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's chapter 13.
13.
We are on verse number 39. Jai.
Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Guru Reki, Jai Jai Guru Maharaj.
Jai.
And so we're just coming to this description of Mahaprabhu's, the moment that he appeared.
And in the chapter 13, verse number?
39.
Thank you.
And so we're coming up to the verses that we sing on Gaur Purnima Day.
Right.
Those verses.
Very happy song.
Yes.
And we know we are asking for happy songs. This is really a happy song.
Yeah.
I mean, really happy song.
Yeah.
Because many things. I mean, we remember being there with Guru Maharaj, dancing in that assembly, singing and so on. We've been there more than once, I mean, different times with Gurudev dancing and that kirtan going on. I mean, many times.
You saw Param Guru Maharaj also singing and dancing.
Absolutely.
With this. Wow.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
And the electric atmosphere of the whole room, building up, and then Guru Maharaj dancing. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Extremely happy.
Wow, that's amazing.
From our very kind of, I don't know whether it's right to say, innocent days, with our very sweet days with Guru Maharaj. Simple service life.
You were his secretary also, Guru Maharaj. You were Guru Maharaj.
Well, in Guru Maharaj's time, I was assistant to the secretary. Bhadri Narayan Prabhu was doing the secretarial work, but he's teaching me the ropes and showing me everything. And so, yes, during that time, we are assisting. I'm always assisting. Yeah, that's. But then after Guru Maharaj's disappearance, then quite soon after he went away from the mat, and then I am there.
I'm also anew, because I've been discovering Gurudev Govinda Maharaj singing. How it was also on Jayasri, the website from Vishaka. The mantra of Guru was just little, how do you say it? A little
Clip.
And it's totally amazing. When Gurudev chants the Hare Krishna Maha mantra.
Gurudev?
Oh, our Govinda Maharaj.
Yes. We know. Actually, we know. And we're very happy to be reminded.
It's completely different. The vibration is completely different. You're in it and Gurudev singing. Oh.
You're quite right. I agree with you 100%. Gurudev singing. I see most of the things, but I have to say, I have the recent, you just put something up, I haven't read it, but it's in my pending pile to be read. I kind of download it and then save it. So I need to, maybe on the flight tomorrow, I'll read it.
It's a very nice clip of Gurudev. It's on the bottom, I have it like as a permanent thing.
Totally amazing.
Oh, is it?
Completely
it's on the bottom.
not
Okay.
from this world. It's completely amazing.
Also, there's a page called Kirtan. It's just like recordings of Gurudev leading.
Selected recordings. Okay.
And the recordings that I found in the archives, that they're not really in circulation. Like they're not. I don't find them published anywhere. They're very like singing songs I haven't heard him sing before. So there's a page for that as well.
Very nice, beautiful.
But I was present when Gurudev was, would sing that song, but in his later years, like his last few years. So you were there also, and Gurudev was like showing more energy,
And on
some pictures.
On like the days of Srila Saraswati Thakur's appearance, disappearance, Bhakti Thakur's appearance, disappearance, Gurudev would sing those compositions of Guru Maharaj, and but like those long, complicated verse forms, and very enthusiastic. Yes, I mean, some of them he's singing, and some of them he's narrating, but like singing when he's narrating them, but not actually echo like the lead and follow, but with much enthusiasm and sweetness. But yes, Gurudev, we think when we kind of get one song and think, okay, now I know what is the Bengali words, and like put them together, and we think, oh, this is wonderful. But Gurudev doing this with every song and every sloka he speaks and everything. He knows like the whole essence of everything he's saying. Not only knows it, I mean, he's feeling it.
Yeah.
From another plane to this plane. The other day someone was showing me some pictures, and then I saw, I mean, I'm trying not to be in the pictures generally before, but I saw myself in one of the pictures from long ago, and it's like, I was also like proof to me, and I was there, I was there. Sometimes, you think, because it's in the past, but then you see, oh, look, that's me, oh, I was there,
You were all the time there for years, man.
Maybe, but we live in the present, don't we? And then some of our friends almost try and convince us we weren't there. And think, hold on, I think I was there for a while. I mean, in some ways, and we think, no, I was there with Gurudev throughout all those years, like that. Hare Krishna.
And maybe later you can tell what one day service in the month, what you were doing. So many things.
Well, if we're thinking about Gaura Purnima Day, what's coming up in the book here, then this day was, of course, a day when we can say, oh yes, this is from maybe like 2:30 or before 3 o'clock in the morning. Then Gaura Purnima Day was always a super big day. But only once, and it's fairly recently, a couple of months ago, I did actually sing this with a group of devotees. And because we're always looking for some encouraging songs, and I thought to myself, I was in the temple with Mahaprabhu, and I was just thinking, yeah, Mahaprabhu's appearance, and like that is maybe the happiest song. It's Chaitanya Charitamrita, but really associated with that song is like super beautiful thing. And I just thought, well, it's not that we can only sing this on Gaura Purnima. Just like the Ekadashi songs that we're singing, it's not just for Ekadashi. It just happens to mention, on Ekadashi day Mahaprabhu did this.
I find it one of the most beautiful songs, the Ekadashi song.
Yeah.
And ecstatic, right?
Yes, very happy, very joyful. Very joyful. Anyhow, let's go on. So, reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 13, text 30 what?
39.
39.
I just have one more question. Did Param Guru Maharaj, would he lead himself?
Yes. Yes, but he would lead, and then somebody would continue. Yeah.
Maybe Gurudev would.
Yeah. Maybe Gurudev.
Or somebody would ask.
Yeah, I'm too faulty to say who, but it was certainly then, yes, he is.
This must have been like in the early 80s. So.
Yes. Yes.
It's amazing actually. You would see him dancing, that's like his later years. 1983,
I saw him dancing. We came to Chaitanya Saraswati Math. I came to Chaitanya, so just after Gaura Purnima of 82. But 83, and then other years along the way, but 83 in particular.
Srila Gurudev mentioned that Srila Sridhar was a very good dancer.
I know.
And
not known for his singing, but he was a very good dancer.
And Guru Maharaj said it of himself too.
Really?
He said that I could dance practically tirelessly, non-stop, like this. Guru Maharaj saying of himself.
And we have no footage of it, nowhere.
Of Gaura Purnima dancing? I don't know. I have footage, and maybe we have seen footage, but I definitely have footage.
And Guru was tall.
He was tall. He was actually indescribable. Sometimes we think how to describe him, and then actually indescribable. And he was tall and he was straight. Guru Maharaj was very straight. I mean, like the figure was not only, some people are tall, but he was tall but elegant and mountain, like a mountain.
Like mountain. Also very tall. And, I mean, any form our Buddha, I mean, it's beautiful also. I mean.
And he's dancing with the two arms up in the air and singing in the Nat Mandir. I was thinking of the Nat Mandir here this morning. Because actually, we often think of that. Believe it or not, we often think of, Nabadwip and our being there and being in the Nat Mandir and the deities. Yes, every day we are giving the jai to those deities.
Because we cannot imagine Radha Krishna, right? Or imagine, we cannot have access to their form or their presentation, but that comes via Gandhara Govinda Sundar, right? I mean, that is the deities Guru Maharaj gave to us, and via that we can have some feeling for Radha Krishna.
We're all coming from, we're all coming. I'm coming from the material world. We're all, I didn't have any conception of deities or anything before. And then when we come to learn about the deities, or dancing before the deity, sing before the deity, offer food to the deity, pray before the deity, we hear that, the Lord Himself, that is the Lord Himself, not that He represents the Lord, etc. But it's all a big jump from nowhere to really put these in our heart. But I used to also feel in Nabadwip that, we hear all these glories of the deities. If this is true anywhere, it is true here, like this, like here in this temple. And that feeling too very much came to me when unexpectedly I had the darshan, came before the deity of Vishnu Priya's deity of Mahaprabhu. And for me that was quite extraordinary too, because it wasn't a planned thing. It was actually a deity that I had only seen. Actually, I may have seen on the parikrama, but not really known where we were. You know how when, especially the first time you go on parikrama and you're all new, you really don't know a lot of, now we don't know a lot of things, but I may have seen before. But in the time after the Golden Volcano was published, then I used to see that picture of Vishnu Priya's deity in the Golden Volcano. In Chanjapan we see the picture, and always it was like a special picture. And thinking, this deity is worshipped by Vishnu Priya herself. And then, a long story, short story, whatever it is, but unexpectedly when I was visiting Nabadwip on one of the pilgrimages, that time when I was in Malaysia, and used to come for several of the festivals. And then in the evening, our dear Sagar Maharaj, one time in the early afternoon, he was unwell, he was sick, and he needed to see a doctor. He somehow got the connection for a doctor. And I went with him to the doctor, just to accompany him. And then the doctor, anyway, long story, but we found ourselves waiting outside his surgery. It wasn't open, but his wife said, he will be there soon. And we're standing and we heard the evening kirtan. How in Nabadwip you hear kirtan. And we thought, while we're waiting in a little kind of rainy, we're under a shelter. Then we just sort of looked at each other and thought, let's go in and see what's happening. And then when we went in there, it was like off opposite street, just very, very nearby, just a little doorway. We went inside, and then when we went in, there was that deity that we'd been seeing and thinking about all those years. And I thought, the Mahaprabhu was very kind. He's brought us there. Because when we're in Nabadwip, we're not going anywhere. We're doing our seva in the temple. We're not going to think of these things. So this was another deity. So our deity, Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundar, always thinking, this, we know it's true, and it certainly must be true here, this kind of thing. And that also that deity of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, we think, yes. And we asked to Guru Maharaj we asked to Guru Maharaj, really is, and then after this and coming back and then talking with Guru Maharaj as we used to do. We used to go up and talk with him and ask to Guru Maharaj, is it really the deity, the actual deity that Vishnu Priya worshipped? And Guru Maharaj said, yes, this is the original deity. And we know we have to get confirmation over lots of things, otherwise if we just believe what we are told in different places, we actually will be misled. You know, for instance, Prachin Mayapur, right there in Nabadwip, which I've never been to, but they have this place which they say is the original Mayapur, you know, contrary to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Yes, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's, you know, discuss revelation, etc. And then, if we follow just what anybody says, we may well be misled. That's why we always have to have our reference point, and then reference point, Guru Maharaj.
We have our sadhus.
Yes, real sadhus, substantial sadhus.
And I remember there was in Australia, I think maybe last year or something, with the anniversary of the deity installation in Australia. You were there.
I wasn't there.
No, I mean now, last year.
Yeah, last year I was not there for the anniversary celebration. I was there a little afterwards, last year.
And then Bhakti Lalita said that one time Gurudev put a garland around the neck of Gauranga Radha Kandava Govinda Sundar in Nabadwip, and then he held the arm of Mahaprabhu and it felt soft. So at that time the deity, he realized the deity is real. I mean, there was a big, soft and, you know.
Okay, I have not heard that, so yeah, that's also interesting to hear. Yeah.
When he was doing puja one time in his younger years, he had that experience here.
He shared the garland, yeah. On Mahaprabhu, and then he felt his arm, and the arm was soft and alive. And I mean, there's always a bit speculation. You know that in front of the deity, your meditation is, oh Lord, please see me, right? But in some, you know, we look in house, Mahaprabhu looking today, or house Radharani, and was always so ecstatic, such an ecstatic Radharani, and you know, it was so beautiful in Gurudev's time when he was there and we were all there.
And for me, one of the strongest, like Gurudev with the deity thing, was when Guru Maharaj passed away. That afternoon that he passed away, and Gurudev standing in front of the deities, but at the path, you know, where we do the parikrama, with his hand on the thing, and he's looking and saying, how beautiful is Radharani? Why is she so beautiful? I never saw her look so much like this. Why is she so beautiful? Why is she looking so happy? And we've all been very unhappy. I mean, all of us, Gurudev included, we were all, you know, it was not an easy day. This is Guru Maharaj's disappearance day. And Gurudev standing there, and he's seeing our deity Radharani so much like this, and saying to me, doesn't she look like this? And I think I didn't say anything stupid. I just standing beside Gurudev, and only can say, you know, Gurudev is seeing that. And honestly, we're right there with him, and it was like very special moment. So I can think, I mean, many times beautiful things with the deities, but like the most stunning thing was this one. And Gurudev, like, riveted there. And you know Gurudev, he never shows emotion or things like, he's always very reserved, but he was, you know, just stunned. He was stunned, and so we're right with him. Like electricity was there. This was like the single most outstanding thing with Gurudev. But many days we come in front of the deities with Gurudev, and he's there happily, because he used to be every morning and every afternoon, and often twice in the morning, the Mangalati time, and then around 10 o'clock in the morning, Gurudev would come out, circle around. Then in the afternoon, after the prasadam, a little rest, then Gurudev coming out. This was every single day. And then when the Samadhi Mandir was being built, which was, throughout from the end of December, or from the end of December or not, what the date was I'm not sure, but end of 88, when Guru Maharaj disappeared, for the next year, Gurudev was coming out like all the time, and we had our office was downstairs on the left, that little room. And we means the spiders and myself. Because we had some big spiders in there. Had no fan. They had some big spiders, and they even had their family. And the Bengali devotees, they said, "Oh, you can't." I said, "No, I'm not disturbing them. They're not disturbing me, and they never bit me or anything like that."
Spiders and also wasps' nests.
Oh, we did we had a wasp's nest right outside the door. They never stung. But later upstairs we had in the bathroom, and everybody wanted to poison or something. I said, "Don't do that." But they did get me sometimes. But
you still left them there.
Yes, it wasn't their fault. It was their nature that they're going to get me. They did. They sting you instantly. It's not like they land and then sting. They like doom. No, they're the residents of the Dham. We've been there with Guru Maharaj. Telling when one of our that time sannyasis he killed a cobra behind in our temple, and then they're thinking, "Oh, this is very good, they killed the cobra." Guru Maharaj was very unhappy. Guru Maharaj, Srila was very unhappy. We have no right to kill the cobra. They are the residents here of the Dham. They are living, they have connection with the Dham, they're living in the dirt of the Dham. We have no right to kill them. Guru Maharaj was disturbed by that. And
Prabhu told one incident where he killed a cobra out of self-defense.
Who did? Devashish killed a cobra out of self-defense.
Yeah. Or, no, I think he did it himself. You can ask him when you see him. But as I recall, it was at the land of nectar. And he was staying there once, and the cobra was coming towards him, going to attack him. And I think there was some tool or something that he used.
Don't tell me these things. Don't tell me he killed this.
But he said even that, Srila Maharaj, he was not happy about. Even though it was out of self-defense, he expressed, I don't remember exactly his response, but he expressed some disappointment, that he'd done that.
We can run away. Anyway. And Devashish Prabhu also got some direct understanding of these things. And we had a squirrel, remember you there or not? We had a squirrel above that office, that little downstairs office, where the office was when you came, and then you took over that office. Means that was your office for some time. That front window, when you open the window, it's got the made of concrete or made of cement, like the design with all the holes. When we open the window, there was the squirrel and his nest inside.
There when I was there.
The squirrel?
Squirrel, yeah.
I saw that squirrel later.
And there were many frogs.
Oh,
all
yes.
sizes.
This size, I'm showing you like this. I did not see this size frog, I have to admit.
I mean, all sizes, like this.
Yes,
they're hopping, and it was almost like a dot, it was hopping.
Yes.
And what is it? The pinky Gurudevs had mongoose, and then the mongoose's family.
Many.
There are many. They were behind. Now they cleared it after Gurudev's disappearance, being cleared. But that place were many before.
Because they eat the snakes, right?
Yeah, but I never saw them. But they do. But that's nature's way. That's their dharma. I mean, these things happen. Anyway, I don't know how we got onto all the animals.
When the apple is eaten.
When we had the downstairs office, myself and the spiders. Okay, that time, which would be 1989, because and before, but 1989, which is when the Samadhi Mandir was growing. Then like the standard thing was, as soon as we see Gurudev or if we're with him, run out with a chair for him to sit on from the office down there.
You would sit there?
No, we'd take, he'd come in the office sometimes, yes, but we'd run out with a chair for Gurudev to sit in front of the Samadhi Mandir, like meditating on it, looking at it. And with his cane, the same cane that we have seen so many times, he had that for many, many years. And Gurudev said, how much my cane now is shorter than it was before. Yeah. Out of usage. And the devotees are hearing this, they get him the rubber part for the bottom. But with that cane in the dirt, that time all of that area, it is just, it's the mud. You know, mud, if it rains it's mud, but it's the dirt area. And in the ground is how he's showing what is the next stage, what is the next stage. To Dinu Mistri, the builder. And that Dinu Mistri was the son of who built the domes and built the temple of the temple. Wow. So this way in the family. And then Dinu Mistri's son, he then built. Oh yeah, so he was there at that time of making the Samadhi Mandir. Dinu Mistri's son was there. And then
3 generations.
Yeah, and then his son, who I remember very well, he then presently he built the Dham Park temple, and then the Sevak Bhavan near the, and during building the Sevak Bhavan, so he's not very old, not young but not very old, middle aged, and then it was a hot day and he went to the tea stall, and during the day went to the tea stall and then had I don't know whether it's a stroke or a heart attack, but he died right there, just like that, within a few minutes. I mean, I don't know the exact detail of how many minutes, but you know, just one day, and he's, you know, they're healthy, they're active, they're building and everything, not so old, and he had a heart attack or something attack, and he died straight away. So we know him. But Dinu Mistri would come to Gurudev each day, and he was a bit deaf. Many builders are a bit deaf from the sound. You know, they've all their life they're with very loud sounds and things. And anyway, he was quite deaf, and Gurudev making very clear, like very loudly, explaining to him and showing with the cane in the mud for the growth of the temple. So every day, Gurudev would come in front of the deities, and many days, in those earlier days especially, he would be there in the Mangalarti and not leading. I don't even remember that he, no, I can't say, oh yes, I was with Gurudev while he was leading Mangalarti. Have to think about that one. But certainly at Mangalarti, and he would stand in front of the deities in the Nat Mandir also, or outside the Nat Mandir, the front part. But he would stand and then give obeisances and then continue. And Gurudev always early in the morning up, and we would go to him before Mangalarti. That's when, that was my duty, and that's when we would take the letters. Then it was his letters that come, what came yesterday in the post, we take to Gurudev. Gurudev gets to see, gets to hear, then gives answers if he wants to give answers or not as he wishes. But that was the time before Mangalarti we go to him. And he was always early to bed, early to rise. Gurudev.
What time? Like
3:30. 3:30.
Not to bed.
Oh yes, after the evening prasad, then Gurudev going to rest. If he's actually sleeping, that's another thing. But you can say 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
After, it used to be after evening arati, devotees would give obeisances, but it was not like darshan time. But Gurudev extended himself during the festival times. He extended himself means he exerted extra from like reserve energy for giving association to the devotees because he's saying, they've come so far, they've come to see me, then I must do this. But really, Gurudev, and he directly said it, did not want to, but he said, my duty now to do this. And we saw, normally he will not be giving darshan, be discussing with devotees and stuff after the evening arti time. Yes, devotees come, give obeisances and go, and then it is the devotees do downstairs. And then from evening, Gurudev is living just with his circle and then quietly. But in the morning, he's up early, and it was like the savor things first, the communication, correspondence, those things, and then after Mangalarti, then devotees come up, and sometimes he will talk, sometimes not. Devotees come up, give obeisances, go. But for a lot of the year, then there's no devotees to come, very few devotees. It is only later that there will be devotees throughout the summer and throughout all that time.
Yeah. Devotees who are living.
Yeah, and then also a few. And Saraswati running your temple here, she was one of the early devotees who were there throughout the year, and she was capable. And she was there. Maybe there's nobody else. Maybe she was the only other person there for some time. And Gurudev, one evening, Saraswati, she's in Natmandi, and she's the only Western person, and certainly the only lady, but there's like Saraswati, like 3 devotees or something. You know how, a lot of the year, like here, you have just a handful of devotees. And just like very few people, but she's there with the Bengali Gaudiya Gitanjali songbook, and they're doing the songs in the evening, and she's doing from the Bengali book. And Gurudev noticed what she's doing, and he said to me, very quickly she will learn Bengali by this way. Because we already know, basically, Shri Guru, Charana Padma, etc. So once you've started your you're practicing, then with your writing, then you start to see Shri, Guru, and then all these words are coming again and again, and then quickly you can know. And actually she learnt Bengali, and by Gurudev's blessing, by Gurudev also observing, she's doing like this, she will learn Bengali very fast. So with some blessing there. But Saraswati was there, very quiet time and earlier time. What year did they get married, do you know?
Chandru was born in 91 or 92, maybe 92.
Yeah, so before that, so she was there before that.
89, her and Ishanuka went. I think it was like 89. It was pretty early, like just after Srila Maharaj.
Yeah, she was early there, so it will be around that time.
I think it was 1990. 1990, because I remember when I came first to the Mat in 1990, then she was there. She was like a very young girl, like 18 years old or something.
I don't know how old, but I remember it, she being there, because I remember her doing some service and everything. It's before we had computers. Was there life before computers? But anyway, it's before we had computers, I remember specifically, and we were doing the typing and things. And Sermons of the Gaudian Devotion, Volume 1 and Volume 1, and we used to those Gaudiya, the Vyasa Puja books, if they're called Gaudiya Darshan or not, we used to the Vyasa Puja books and stuff. That was all done with the regular typewriters, as well as the correspondence and all the other things. And that was, I remember, because Saraswati would be there, and I remember this. And we had no fan in that little room downstairs. There wasn't even a fan, when there is a fan, there's not electricity half the time in those days. And in the evening, every evening, if there was electricity, the fan was just an amusement to watch, because it just would do this. because the electricity went so low, it didn't do anything. But that's in those days. And then, but you know what happened is Nabadwip, so they had marches in the street and like disruption and this, that and the other, so that they led so many protests so that the Nabadwip electricity, about the Nabadwip electricity, and then near the bus station in Nabadwip now, they made a big, whatever it is, that boosts the electricity, substation, is it? They call it something like that.
But even when I was there, still in the evening, the electricity
was like that. And what year was that first?
When I first was.
Well, when the electricity was down, that you remember.
I mean, like I was there till like 2015.
Oh, but that electricity wasn't okay. But that was much better than what it was.
Sure, yeah, it must have been much better, but still, it wasn't like 100%.
And I remember, even when we are using computers, which is from 1991, we first got in 1991, or the beginning of actually it could be Guru Purnima 92, is quite possible. When we first got computers, which could have been Guru Purnima 92. Anyway, maybe 91, 92. But still, after that, and even after that, not just at the beginning, we are using the computer with a candle in the night, because you couldn't read and everything by the light, you had to have a candle. And I remember when we had the upstairs office, which was a few years later, actually, so we are quite more advanced at this point, still using a candle with the computer, because you couldn't read the paper from the light. And then devotees thought that was so funny, using a computer with a candle.
And also what I saw in the rickshaw drivers, that they had a little candle in front of with a little, covering that the wind doesn't blow the candle out in the rickshaw, on the rickshaw.
Yep. Oh yes. And but they also wouldn't use that before, but there was a police crackdown in Nabadwip on riding the rickshaws and bicycles with no lights. So then they had these little things with a candle, which is so funny.
So funny.
So funny. And then the more advanced ones had the carbide light. It's carbide, and we used the carbide also in the land of nectar at that time. We used the carbide, and it is, not only the land of nectar, in the mat too, in the kitchen area, the kata up and all this stuff, the cooking in the evening, they had two kinds of bright lights. One is a carbide, and it is this stuff, when you add water to it, it produces some gas which is inflammable, but it is quite a bright, clear
petrol
light.
Was not used, like petrol lamps?
No, but kerosene, but the other bright one was the kerosene pumping lamp. And then you light it, and then the wick. But they were more fragile, and so they couldn't use those on the bicycles, but they used carbide. If you actually wanted to see, otherwise use a candle. Anyway, we're getting a little bit off track.
No.
Oh, it's 9:10 as well. I mean 8:10, and so on. Chaitanya Charitamrita have to wait till tomorrow. But this section is coming up. It's such a super part of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, every part is super, I know, but Mahaprabhu's appearance, it is extremely joyful, and we can definitely go back to our when I was young days and say, well, we still have some of those memory cells left of the wonderful things. And because we are always thinking about this joyful kirtan, and it just struck me one day. Actually, I think my most joyful kirtan is that kirtan. Mahaprabhu's appearance in the Nat Mandir, and over the years we've seen it from being, relatively small. From the Guru Maharaj's day, it wasn't extremely small. Gaura Purnima was always, full house, but the Nat Mandir was much smaller, everything. We didn't have any prasadam hall and anything like this. So every festival with prasad is in the corridors, in the places all around. And that time also, it's not that it's all, concrete and marble and everything. So, and that was also part of our seva, distributing prasadam and the clean-up afterwards. All these things, very happily This was a big thing. And all around the prasadam, every empty space.
And cleaning, I mean, later the hose came from the west. How did you, with buckets, right?
Yeah, with buckets, pretty much. And there may have been a hose, it's possible. But from that well was always there. The well and the buckets in the well, that we used to have the buckets. Definitely, the pump would be there, but it sometimes broke. But we always had the well, the bucket you put down inside the well. And those early days, then, when devotees are like lunchtime, and devotees come to take prasadam, then one of our service, how many devotees, then you see how many devotees are there, and then we go out the back with the machete or the fish cutting knife, the knife that they use for the cutting the vegetables, which is, from their tradition in Bengal of how they scale their fish. That's what their knives come from. The knives that they sit on the wood.
That's how they're designed.
Apparently. Anyway, we'd go out the back and then we'd cut the banana leaves according to like how many people are coming.
Wow.
And we're taking off the banana leaf plates as a daily route. It was not like a routine, not a special day. And the nice banana leaves, you can get 6 plates from one banana leaf, because you cut one banana leaf and you cut it down the middle, and then you shoot, and you get 6 nice plates from one banana leaf. So we see how many devotees, and then we get that. Why I was thinking that? Because that well, we put the bucket in the well, pull it out, and then with the water from the bucket, water in the bucket, we put the banana leaves in there, clean them off, and then take them and give them. And that well, in the summer it's cool, and in the winter it's warm. So warm that steam comes, steam, is it steam or not? Under condensation or something, but you have like warm water in like a cold area, and then you see this steam coming off. In the winter, that water is warm.
How is that possible?
Because Krishna is wonderful.
Magic.
And Guru Maharaj told that water is Ganges water in the well. And we drank that water for years and years and years, and put it in a clay pot. And in India, they teach the children, and you can figure this out, be a scientist or whatever you want to be, but they teach in the schools, if you store water in a clay pot, that is automatically purifying the water. So anyway, we had clay pots for years, and we never had you couldn't even see a plastic bottle. It just didn't exist. But we had clay pots, and we kept the water in there, and we drank it for years, that water. And now in Nabadwip, that water also is there. And also there is the deep well beside Guru Maharaj's Bhajan Kutir. But that water, if you take it, generally it's a bit cloudy, but it's only the Nabadwip. It's the dust of Nabadwip, because it's a deep well. But I agree, it's not...
It wasn't functioning in the last years. I only never knew the one in front of Gurudev's veranda.
And that also went funny in the last years.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I arrived, you told me you had to drink from this well.
Yeah.
And I did for like a year, but then that whole area became like, the floor turned black.
The what turned black?
The floor, it was red, right? Were like little squares, like a mosaic, and where the well was. Somehow became black, and the waters just changed color, taste.
Every now and again they would put bleach in there to clean it, and then you couldn't drink it for like a week or so, and then again we drink. No, but there's a well, not a well that you can put a bucket in, but beside Guru Maharaj's, when you look at the front of Guru Maharaj's Bhajan Kutir, to the right in that like garden area, there's a deep well put down there, but with a pump in there. That's what pumps water up to the Samadhi, the centenary building, ladies' house, Gurudev's house. In fact, not to the men's house, office building, not to that comes from a well that's beside. But that is a deep well. The water is good when it comes out, but it is a bit cloudy. But again, if you put it in a clay jug, somehow or another it just becomes very crystal clear. Okay, completely off the track, but at least remembering something of Nabadwip. And Guru Maharaj said of the water from that well outside Gurudev's house, he said of the water here, he said, every drop can give Krishna prema. Guru Maharaj said that because one of our, we know we're there, one of our dear devotees, he wasn't there one day, and Guru Maharaj is asking, and it's Badrinarayan Prabhu. He said, and he said, where's Badrinarayan? And they said, oh, he's gone to the Ganges to swim. And then later when he's back, and then Guru Maharaj saying about this, and he said, why did you go back? Why? And affectionately, not like a heavy thing, but why did you go back to the Ganges, is what Guru Maharaj said. And then like, everybody were all kind of back to the Ganges, like, because we're thinking, oh, Ganges is the highest thing. With all respect to the Ganges, but Guru Maharaj then talked something about the glories of the water in the mat, that every drop can give Krishna prema. But also, having said that, we also know Guru Maharaj saying about the Ganges, we can get the benefit of bathing in the Ganges according to our capacity. And then Guru Maharaj saying, so many dolphins, so many buffaloes, they are bathing in the Ganges. So according to our capacity, our approach. And was it Gokishore Das Babaji or Jagannath Das Babaji? They would not bathe they wouldn't even go to the Ganges in the daytime. You can say, because they did not... Pundarik Vidyanidhi.
He wouldn't bathe in the Ganges, and maybe one of the more contemporary Vaishnavas, but I can't remember.
Right, I believe I have it wrong, that it is Pundarik Vidyanidhi, yeah. And he wouldn't even go to the Ganges in the daytime because he couldn't bear to see people brushing their teeth in the Ganges and washing their clothes. So he would go to the Ganges in the early morning when nobody is there, and he would go there. And he wouldn't go and do his ablutions there, he would go there for his worship of the Ganges. So that is also some reminder.
But I think you're right, also one of the more recent Vaishnavas also had that mood, but I can't remember.
Jai Shri Gangamayi Ki Jai. And there is that verse, Sadapataka Sanghantri, something, there's the Ganges.
The little kirtan that I forgot.
The Ganges Pranam mantra, which we used to say in Nabadwip day by day, but then it kind of dropped off the schedule, as it were.
Yeah. And we would go and pay obeisances to the Ganges.
But would do every morning and every evening after the Mangal Arati, and after evening Arati, would do in the temple. So after you pay obeisances to Tulsi, then come inside and give obeisances to the deities in the Nat Mandir, then come beside the temple. So between the temple and the cooking area, the kitchen, the bandar in that area, there is a pathway. And there they would turn around, go face that direction, and then they pay obeisances with Satyapataka Sanghantri Sadhyo Dukkha Vinashini Sukkada Bhaktida Gangaiva Paramagatihi. O Ganga Devi, you instantly remove sin and sorrow. You give joy and devotion. You are my ultimate shelter. There. But for some time, I didn't know what they're doing I thought they were maybe paying obeisances to Guru Maharaj, because Guru Maharaj was with us at that time. With us. He was present directly, you can say, at that time.
Yeah, me too. It was maybe a few years before I figured out, and then I joined in happily with him.
And you know what, after Tulsi Arati, then the Vanchakapatrubhyascha, then this other mantras which are now in the book, there are kind of, you learn one and then you hear there are all sorts of variations on the theme. It's not a fixed, not a fixed like the mantra to chant afterwards. But it is a mantra that, again, obeisances to the Vaishnavas. Sakala, yeah. But it's not fixed. It's very fluid over the course of time and in different temples. Then you learn what they're saying at this time in Nabadwip, then you go to Dham Park in Calcutta and then, what was that they're saying? Something a little different. Because they know Bengali, they know what they're saying. And it's the same, a similar thing, you know, the refrains that are in some of the songs. It's not carved in marble, they know what they're singing, so they're like saying, Jaya for this, Jaya for that.
Yeah, Tyagi Maharaj made a little, a little paper sheet when all these extras like glorifications or what they were saying in Bengali, but it never... But
they're very fluid, they're very fluid. It's not that every day you're going to hear the same thing sung, and even, you know, by the same person. And Gurudev himself is singing the song. Anyway, we are really getting a little off track. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. So please, can you sing between you Hari Harai Nama Krishna? Because I'm trying to do some things and I have a limited time.
It always changes every day, which is...
Actually, I noticed that radiator was on, so both of them are in quite good tune. Because I don't know whether it's on purpose, but they're sitting near the radiator, so they got a little heated up. On purpose?
Right?
Oh yeah, okay. Because if it's not on purpose, it is a good idea. Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Bhakti Rock Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki Jai, all the assembled devotees ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari.
Hari Hari Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama.
Hari Hari Nama Krishna
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama.
Jadavaya
Jai Sabrikarasi Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Giriyari Ju ki jai. Jai Srila Gurudev ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Beautiful garden you made, so lovingly you made. So beautiful.
Yeah. And goes with it, with the outfit, right? Like goes, comes out, comes out.